Welcome back. The rules on where you can dine with your four-legged friends on the Suncoast may be changing.
While the doggy dining trend becomes more popular in Sarasota County, one city is looking to tighten up some of the rules. ABC 7's Jess Daldrick is live in downtown Sarasota to explain. Jess.
Good evening, Haley and Scott. Taking your dog out for lunch or dinner isn't uncommon here on the Suncoast, while the city of Sarasota and Sarasota County play by the same set of rules. The city of Venice has their own guidelines that they're looking to tweak. It's because of an abundance of animal lovers like Cliff Woodford that doggy dining exists.
It's my favorite thing about Sarasota. we love being able to go almost anywhere with our dog, and she enjoys it.
Your four-legged friends are welcome to join you for dinner in the city of Venice, but not just anywhere. Restaurants need to have their doggy dining permit.
The business has to apply for it. It's a regular application, a $25 annual fee, so it's very inexpensive. But then the business, in turn, has certain obligations.
Obligations the city mayor, John Hollick, says some restaurants aren't meeting.
We'll have animals that are in the pedestrian walkway, and then some people with very small animals put them in a purse and put the purse on the table, and that can't be done either.
Mayor Hollick says restaurants must have an area specifically designated for doggy dining. Those places are required to have waterless hand sanitizing wipes at every table and water bowls sitting out for the dogs. Customers are not allowed to feed the pets, a rule that city residents say is constantly broken.
I've seen people put plates down on the ground and have them lick the plates, and I just think it's unsavory, and I would avoid those restaurants.
And the current punishment for cases like that, which is now a simple warning, will get harsher.
If that continues to happen, the restaurant will lose its privileges of having doggy dining.
The city's 5-year ordinance is expiring in June, so the Planning Commission is working to draft a new permanent doggy dining ordinance. Bon appetit. There are 11 restaurants in the city of Venice where you can do doggy dining. Right now, there are an additional 38 in the rest of the county of Sarasota. So if you visit mysuncoast.com, I have a list on there for you for the city of Venice's locations and the ones in the rest of the county. So whether you're trying to avoid them or you're trying to find them, it's all there for you. In Sarasota, Jess Daldrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are looking for the person who stole an ATM from a sandwich shop. Sheriff's deputies say it happened at PJ Sandwich Shop on North 301 in Parrish sometime last night or early this morning. The suspects cut the phone lines to the shop and then forced the door open and then stole that ATM and cut open a small metal safe. If you have any information on the business burglary, call Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS.
The Sarasota Police Department wants to make sure you are aware of a so-called family emergency scam. If someone calls and says they have a family emergency and demands money, it is likely a scam. According to the Federal Trade Commission, the scam artists are hoping that the caller acts before they think. And acting usually includes sending the scammer money by wiring it or getting a prepaid card or gift card or giving them some numbers on the card. If you think you have been scammed, please report it to the FTC.
Scientists say the effects of global warming can be seen right here on the Suncoast. And tonight in a special report, they're explaining what they call the unfortunate realities the area is facing. Here on the Suncoast, scientists say we're seeing rising sea levels, warmer temperatures, more severe rainstorms. And by the year 2100, they expect things to be a lot worse. Sea level could rise up to 7 feet, putting the majority of the Keys, some of the shorelines underwater. Scientists are pushing to educate the community about the risks of climate change because it soon could affect our roads, ports, and water supplies.
All that heat that's in the ocean because of global warming, half of it has gone in since 1997. So if you're 20 years old, half the heat of global warming has gone in since 1970. That's because of the population growth and the increasing industrialization.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll take an in-depth look into what areas of the Suncoast are starting to see effects of climate change and what our city and county governments are doing about it.
As far as our weather today, nice and warm.
Yeah.
Sunny.
Here's Bob Harrigan with more. Bob?
Yeah, no record highs today. We missed it by a couple of degrees. 90 degrees our current temperature, and that is a result, again, of that easterly wind. That east wind continues to bring temperatures up along the coast. It's 92 in Braden, 91 at Lakewood Ranch, 87 at Mayaca City. A little bit cooler in our interior counties, which is a little unusual, but the wind out of the east is so strong that the east coast breeze has made it all the way over into those areas. So it's cooling down there a little bit. And the west coast breeze has popped in. Almost, it is a 10-degree difference from Lakewood Ranch to Venice now, at 81 in Venice and 91 at Lakewood Ranch, 87 in Northport. Inglewood getting the effects, at least the cooling effects of that sea breeze. Currently, it's 90 at the Sarasota Braden Airport. The dew point is at 49 degrees, which is very low. Winds out of the east-northeast at 13. Puts us at a high fire danger right now. Red flag warning criteria with that dew point temperature so low. And the winds now out of the east. We're expecting that wind to stay out of the east throughout much of the night. That west coast breeze that they're seeing at Manasota Beach and Venice will eventually switch back around to an easterly direction later on this evening. There's a chance we could see a few isolated showers here as well. We'll have more in our forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Florida's Legislative Black Caucus is calling for the expulsion of freshman Republican State Senator Frank Artiles. The caucus has filed a formal complaint with the Senate Rules Committee. Amid the calls for his resignation, Artiles apologized today for a tirade at a club that included making derogatory comments about a fellow senator and using a racial slur. He specifically apologized to Democratic Senators Audrey Gibson and Perry Thurston, both African Americans, as well as Senate President Joe Negron. Artiles spoke to reporters following his apology, saying he has no plans to resign and will, in fact, seek re-election.
If every time the senator made a mistake or someone made a mistake that they were going to resign, we'd have half the Senate gone for whatever reason. I did not insult anybody directly. What I did is have a heated debate with a colleague, and I basically apologized for that.
Shortly before the Senate session, President Negron stripped Artiles of his chairmanship of the Communications, Energy, and Public Utilities Committee.
Right now, the USS Carl Vinson is finally heading to the Korean Peninsula days after President Trump said the fleet was already on the way. The miscommunication comes as the president and his administration tackle the escalating situation with North Korea. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Where in the world is the USS Carl Vinson? Today, the nuclear power aircraft carrier and its strike group now sailing to the Korean Peninsula to join that show of force against North Korea.
We are sending an armada. Very powerful.
Turns out, President Trump's statement on Fox Business News last week, not exactly true. The U.S. warship was actually headed in the opposite direction for a military exercise with Australia.
We're doing exactly what we said we were going to do.
Secretary of Defense James Mattis in Saudi Arabia tried to clear up the confusion, saying the Vinson is now on its way.
I'll determine when she gets there and where she actually operates.
The White House downplayed, saying the commander-in-chief was not misled by his Department of Defense.
The president said that we have an armada going towards the peninsula. That's a fact. It happened. It is happening, rather.
There remain over 500 political positions that are still open. Secretary Mattis isn't getting much help as he tries to run that $1 trillion Department of Defense.
Vice President Pence on his tour of the region, again calling North Korea a dangerous and an urgent threat.
The United States of America will always seek peace, but under President Trump, the shield stands guard and the sword stands ready.
The USS Carl Vinson is expected to arrive in the Sea of Japan next week. No word on how long it will be there, but the Pentagon just extended the carrier's 7-month deployment to August. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Today, a Democrat won big in a Georgia congressional race, but President Trump is still claiming victory for Republicans. Democratic candidate and political unknown Jon Ossoff had an impressive showing in the red state, but he didn't do quite enough to avoid a runoff with the top Republican, Karen Handel. That runoff for the seat of Georgia's 6th congressional district will take place in June.
Your voices are going to ring out across this state and across this country. We will be ready to fight on and win in June.
President Trump getting involved, attacking Ossoff on Twitter before the election. Trump taking credit today, tweeting, "Big R win with runoff in Georgia. Glad to be of help."
Municipal elections here on the Suncoast are fast approaching. May 9th is the date for the City of Northport special election and City of Sarasota second election. There are 3 ways to take part. Early voting will run from May 1st to May 6th at Northport and Sarasota elections offices from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Or you can request a vote by mail ballot now until May 3rd. And you can also cast your ballot on Election Day. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m.
Still to come tonight on your Suncoast News.
An airline stops offering flights to multiple cities in the U.S., including 2 in Florida. Find out who the company says is to blame.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll tell you what happens when Nate Jacobs puts on this dress.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small.
I mean, really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
At Bacon Furniture's spring clearance event, we've slashed prices on our most popular styles. Look for the red balloons for the biggest savings. Save 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the showroom. Bedrooms, dining rooms, sofas, chairs, recliners, and so much more. All at the lowest prices of the season. Don't miss the spring clearance event going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
A week after Easter, they used to just roll up the sidewalks here on the Suncoast.
The tourists went home, the locals settled in for a slow and sleepy summer. But no more. ABC7's Linda Carson joins us with In the Spotlight. Linda.
I'm told back in the old days, many downtown Sarasota stores just closed for the summer. But times are different now. Our tourist season may have just ended, but the West Coast Black Theater Troupe is opening a brand new show this weekend.
Dearly Departed is a comedy that has rarely, if ever, been performed by an African-American theatrical company. And the West Coast Black Theater Troupe is giving it its own special, never-seen-before twist.
This is the dress worn by one of the stars of Dearly Departed. And from the minute Nate Jacobs puts it on and walks out on that stage, you are going to be laughing all the way to the end of the show.
It's all in the dress, folks. You've probably guessed that Dearly Beloved is a comedy.
I play the husband to Raynell, and she and I have a relationship we have a rocky relationship throughout the years of how long we've been married, probably over 37 years and whatnot. And at the top of the play, I croak over and die. So I'm pretty sure that everyone's gonna have a great time and fall over laughing.
Actually, the funny part happens after he dies.
And the family gathers to plan this funeral. And in the process, though, they bring all of their baggage with them.
And fur flies. Demetria D. Selmore plays the dead man's wife.
She's now trying to deal with him being gone and with trying to hold her family together.
The theme is universal.
The subject matter it has no particular culture or religion or race or creed. All of us as human beings have this experience at some point in our life, and that is the ritual of burying our loved ones.
This is a first for the West Coast Black Theater Troupe.
Well, it's WBTT's first legit comedy. We have done shows with comedic tones, but this is from the first moment the lights come up on the stage to the last time you see the family.
Nate plays Marguerite, the sister of the deceased.
The Bible-toting, gospel-speaking evangelist of the family.
The audience will just about die laughing and take home a great lesson.
Learn to enjoy life. Learn to, even in the most difficult times, there is something to smile about. There's something to be hopeful about. There's love.
Dearly Departed is at the West Coast Black Theater Troupe through May 27th. And if you need a good laugh, this is the place to come. And our art scene really does attract residents here. While I was doing this story, I spoke to two people who moved here just because of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe.
Well, that's flattering to them.
Good
Yes,
commercial
they are.
venture.
We have actresses and actors who come down from New York and Chicago and LA to do some of the shows here. So it's amazing.
People move here just for the opera so they can walk to it from downtown.
Not a bad deal.
Yep.
We've got it here all the time.
Thank you so much,
Linda.
right through the summer. All right, let's get over to Bob for more on our weather today. Bob?
Yeah, get a look at the statistics. We talked about this earlier. Here's a look at the wildfire statistics for the past 5 years for our area from January through April, and the fire number 71 for 2017. But look at the acreage burned, 2,500 or nearly 2,500 acres. And in 2013, there were more fires, but not as much burn. We heard that earlier as a result of stronger winds that have been around for January through April. And the Keach-Ryram Index numbers keep going higher and higher. We're most every county in our viewing area in the 600 range. And this is based on the fact that the soil and the duff, if you will, the duff layer, the leaves and brushes around some of the trees should have at least 8 inches of rain. Well, we're about 6 inches deficit, so we need 6 inches of rainfall to get really out of the fire danger. And it needs to be over a widespread area, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Those numbers will only get higher. KCK webcam, now it's great news, the dry weather for area beachgoers and visitors who come here to the Sun Coast and always look for great beach weather, and that helps things out when the high pressure's around. It's not the best news, though, for the high fire danger during this time of the season. That easterly wind flow coming around an area of high pressure continues to bring in just a few isolated showers now again. Just over central Florida for the most part. You can see that activity moving off to the west-northwest. There's nothing going on near the coast like we saw yesterday, and that's a direct result of the fact that the trough of low pressure has since moved on into the Gulf of Mexico. But the rain near Sebring and just to the northwest of Lake Placid continues to move off in a west-northwesterly direction at this time. The bigger picture showing a little bit of activity down to our south near Naples and Marco Island, but not much going on. Currently, we have lots of sunshine. Temperature actually warmed a degree just in the last hour. It's 90. East and northeast winds at 13, and the pressure now 30-10. And that is high. It continues to stay high. And the high today was 90 degrees. The record 93, so we were a couple degrees shy of the record high. And the deficit for the rainfall nearing 7.5 inches for the year. Well, the wind is all important in determining our temperature. When it's out of the east, directly out of the east, we warm up here big time. So we could see some near record highs for us tomorrow. Temperatures will warm near the coast within a mile into the mid-80s. Again, we think the sea breeze will be pinned to right near the coast due to that easterly wind component. But it looks as though temperatures will be a little warmer east of I-75. The RPM Futurecast model showing that steady flow of easterly wind flow around a large area of high pressure off the Carolina coast, which will stay in our area for at least through Friday. And then it will get bumped around a bit on Saturday as a storm system starts to develop. We'll see an area of low pressure develop over parts of East Florida, then eventually track to the northeast. The northeast getting some rainfall now from Maine on in through Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and stretching off into Ohio as well as in the central United States. This is where the rough weather is, the potential for tornadoes into east and southeastern portions of Nebraska tonight. Well, the forecast for boaters looks to be a little bit breezy to start the morning off, 10 to 15 knots, and then subsiding to 5 to 10 knots. We'll have a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now warming up, 77, and UV index will be high at a 10. The low tide will be at 3:20. That's upcoming. The high tide will be at 10:21. We have a high tide coming up just after 6 o'clock this evening. Partly cloudy, isolated shower, not out of the question up until about 9, 10 o'clock, 65 for your low. Mostly sunny and mid-80s, depending upon where you live, upper 80s to near 90 degrees away from the water. The extended forecast calling for breezy conditions on Sunday and Monday as that storm system develops. A rain chance not all that high. Right now, the best chances will be Sunday night and Monday morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but traffic is backed up on I-75 in an area that typically does have slowdowns this time of day, Bee Ridge Road to Fruitville.
Emirates Airlines is cutting back on its flights to the United States, and the company's blaming President Trump. The Dubai-based airline says it will reduce service to 5 of the 12 U.S. cities it currently serves. Those cities include Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Boston. Emirates and other Gulf-based airlines have felt the brunt of a new U.S. policy on immigration and security. The U.S. slapped Emirates and 8 other airlines flying from 10 airports in the Middle East and North Africa with an order banning large electronic devices in their aircraft cabins. And Emirates says that's led to a significant drop in passengers.
Walmart is rolling back prices in a new way. The retail giant is now offering discounts on thousands of its items ordered online. But the catch is you have to pick them up at the nearest store. Right now, about 10,000 items are on sale, ranging from TVs to car seats. Walmart expects to have the inventory grow to more than 1 billion items by the end of June.
Entertainment news is coming up next.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can own one for just $24,999. Or get one of America's longest-lasting pickups and save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
More legal troubles surrounding Prince's estate.
The state is claiming a sound engineer who worked with the musician on 5 tracks in 2006 is threatening to release the unpublished material and has no right to do so. The estate and Paisley Park Enterprises have sued the sound engineer. They say he has no right to the recordings. They're demanding he return them. Prince sings and plays guitar and keyboard on those tracks. Court documents say the recordings, including one called Deliverance, are worth more than $75,000.
Serena Williams is having a baby. The tennis champion posting a selfie on Snapchat today with the caption, 20 weeks. She posed for the photo in a yellow one-piece bathing suit showing her baby bump. Williams and Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian were engaged in December. This is the first child for the 35-year-old athlete.
Pretty Woman is now People magazine's most beautiful woman again. Julia Roberts was the first on the cover of People's World's Most Beautiful issue 26 years ago. She just was 23 years old at the time, and the year before had skyrocketed to fame when she starred in the hit movie Pretty Woman. The 49-year-old actress has been married to cinematographer Danny Moder for 14 years, and they have 3 kids. This is Roberts' 5th time as People's Most Beautiful Woman in the world.
Wow. Well, if you can't beat them, then just join them. Seth Rogen has gone from battling a fraternity to joining one. The actor, who played a new dad fighting with a rowdy fraternity in the movie Neighbors, has officially joined the Pi Kappa Alpha chapter at the University of Vermont. Rogen visited the fraternity on Monday after the brothers raised $32,000 for his Hilarity for Charity, which helps fund Alzheimer's research. After going bowling with the fraternity, he was inducted as an honorary member. And move over to Luke and Han Solo. A new animated series will focus on the female characters from the Star Wars universe. Disney and Lucasfilm are planning to release Star Wars Forces of Destiny this July. The micro-series will feature new stories of key female characters, including Rey, Princess Leia, Sabine Wren, and others. The series will be available on Disney YouTube ahead of a 2-part TV special featuring 8 additional shorts on Disney Channel in the fall. And I know you will be ready to watch those.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars, you know, it's at the top of my list. I got in trouble with our director, Dave. He said it's just, I don't know what the word he used was, but an abomination or something that I don't watch Star Wars.
It's not everyone's cup of tea,
It's not my style, but he says I owe it, you know, to the, like, it's un-American. That's the word he used. It's un-American. So maybe for 4th of July, I can watch it to become, you know, be patriotic and get into pop culture.
We'll be right back.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing, but sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.